Welcome back, basketball fans. This is Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, brought to you by three sponsors this day. It's three sponsors this episode. Big City Wings, Apollo's wing joint, Houston's wing joint. Go check them out today if you're in the Houston area. And go check out Prize Picks. It's our daily fantasy app. Use code Apollo when you sign up. Get up to $100 match on your first deposit with Prize Picks. And shout out to our newest sponsor, J Bar M Barbecue. Just a few blocks away from Toyota Center. The best place to pregame a Rockets game is at J Bar M Barbecue. So thank you for sponsoring this episode. Joshua, welcome back. How are we feeling?
Full government name right off the bat, man. We're back.
Why not?
We're back.
Why not? It felt right, you know?
It rolled off the tongue perfectly. No, man, we're here 2 weeks in. It's been cold. It's been great ever since before Thanksgiving. I feel right. Spotify Wrapped came out today. There was a AI podcast feature where it was two separate people. I don't know if you're on Spot. I think you're on Apple, but
I'm an Apple guy.
Yeah, there was a AI Spotify podcast situation where it was a fake dude and a fake girl, and they were telling you about your music taste and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, the girl kept coming in with these like weird, very not real genres and interrupting like whatever the dude was saying. They kept overlapping with each other. It was really weird, and it didn't feel right. And that kind of fucked my vibe up today. But in regards to basketball, I'm head over heels. The boys are buzzing. I know the Rockets lost last night, and go on and on about the referees, but the fire with the squad is there. Udoka, Şengün, the boys, we're here. We love it. How are we feeling, brother? How was your week at the lake, man?
Oh, I was back in the deep south. I was in Georgia on the lake. Feeling great, feeling good. Shot some guns on Black Friday, before the Egg Bowl. It was a delightful time, you know. It was a little chilly, but it was good. Played some golf, you know, while we were out there. Just lived it up. It was a great Thanksgiving break with the family down in the deep south, and felt back at home, and was very glad to be back in Texas when I got back. I realized how much I love the deep south when I'm back in there, and then as soon as I get back to Texas and I see the skyline, the flat land, the sun in the sky, not a single cloud in sight, it just makes me happy. That's what I like. It just feels right at home, you know? Josh, we've had a hell of a week of basketball since we last met, and NBA Cup is revving up. But before we get into that, I just wanted to ask you, because we had a conversation about this, or we had a message about this earlier, maybe last week. You sent me a TikTok, and it was an Allen Iverson TikTok, and that just sprung a little memory in my brain. What was the most obscure NBA jersey you owned as a kid?
See, it's hard to think because immediately you want to go back to those Rockets runs, like the Aaron Brooks style runs. I mean, there's so much that I can just run off the top of my head, but immediately Ron Artest, brother. Ron Artest, 96, Rockets jersey. Doesn't feel like 96. It is 96. The man was incredible, played probably 40, 45 games with us, and weirdly enough, I know I was 7 or 8 years old. I probably remember about a good 10 of those, excluding playoff games. So he just meant more. It just meant more. I couldn't tell you where the jersey is, and you know, hopefully it's in the ether somewhere. To another child who just loves the Rockets just as much as I do. I'm sure it's in a landfill, but man, I think about that jersey all the time, brother. What about you?
In 7th grade, I owned a Allen Iverson Pistons jersey. Preposterous that he even played in Detroit. Didn't make any sense. I had that one, and then I also had another one. I had a Chicago Bulls Jalen Rose jersey. Not Derrick Rose. I had the number 5 Jalen Rose,
the
Bulls
OG
jersey in like 6th or 7th grade. I can't remember. Just wanted to bring that up because I just want to hear everybody else's most obscure NBA basketball jerseys that you owned as a kid. Like, we just got them at the thrift store. Like, you just randomly got them from other kids that grew up and they outgrew the jersey, so they just gave it to you, a little hand-me-down. Yeah, I don't know. It was just a strange collection of jerseys I had. I used to be the jersey guy. I still have a lot of jerseys, but gave a lot of them to other kids, you know? And then kids at the pool growing up, they were big basketball fans. So I gave them all my jerseys before I moved, and they're wearing them out there proudly now. So
to this day, you got to love it.
Just pass it along to the generation below us, you know. Gotta love basketball. But let's talk about the NBA Cup. Last season was is an introductory press conference, if you will, to the NBA Cup. We didn't really know what it was. We didn't know if it was gonna really mean anything to the players. Like $500,000 to the winner for each player. It's like a lot of these guys are making $60 million a year. Like $500,000. Okay, they're gonna go buy another Rolls Royce.
A lot of guys. Ooh.
I mean, a number of guys are making in between $30 and $60 million in the NBA, especially the teams
Sure.
that typically make it to the semifinals. The better teams, they probably get paid a lot more. And there's some rookies on the team that $500,000 means a lot to. And I was just like, yeah, I don't get it. Then it started getting a little bit better once we got to the semifinals in Vegas. Like the games got a lot better. And then this year, everybody came out right out of the gates. Dog fights in group stage. And now we're out of the group stage. We're finally to the quarterfinals, which will be at home bases and your home stadiums. And then the semifinals will be in Vegas. Finals will be in Vegas. And I've been enjoying it thoroughly. Thoroughly.
Truly, there's nothing better than just the rivalry is back. I think the Mavericks, Rockets, even OKC Rockets, everything feels good. Everything just, again, it all goes back to just it meaning more. And when your team is good, everything means more. Like I said, Ime Udoka getting ejected last night, it just means more. Obviously, like we were out of that game due to plenty of fucked up calls against Alperen Şengün, which, again, not here to get upset at the past. We're here to look towards the future with our NBA Cup, and damn it means something to me, man. Like, this first past year of the NBA Cup, it was really hard to kind of decipher what it was all about. It didn't have an identity. It's starting to form its identity now, and these games are sick, man. Like the playoff, or like I've said, the half playoff atmosphere, even in the group stage. Like when you're getting that in November and early December, that it's a feeling that you can't replicate. And I don't necessarily wish that more leagues could implement things like this. Like I don't want to see like a 4-team or a 8-team NFL midseason tournament. Obviously, the NFL happily would, because they'll take any and all money that's given to them, even if it's insane organizations.
Yep.
Yeah, this NBA Cup feels real, and these teams, this bracket is sick. I told you it was a dream in-season bracket. Obviously, in the Eastern Conference Finals or even in the Eastern Semi, sure, I'd love to see the Orlando Magic, but competing for a finals, with a team that doesn't have a national identity, or even the Bucks, who have struggled like heavily, but they're still, at the top of that NBA Cup, which we might need to have a conversation about them.
Yep.
They're they're a team again. They're a team again,
They're
and
doing things. Yeah.
they're doing things. And we'll look back on this in the next 20 games, and we'll either laugh, or we'll be like, "Oh, yep, people forget that teams have slow starts." But in regards to the West and these Rockets, man, and really just every single team, it feels like 2016, man. Like I know the Mavericks weren't great in 2016, because I think that was the year that I think they were the 8th seed or the 7th seed, and that was the
Yeah, we
Rondo
weren't
year,
very good.
maybe. Uh,
Maybe. Yeah. We
yeah,
started, it was declining hard in 2016 and it
it
went
was
down
tough.
real fast. It went down real fast.
Man, you gotta love it, and that's the thing with a lot of these, rivalries that don't. It's been 5 years since the Rockets have been good, and obviously, the hatred kind of not fades away, but when the games mean less, the fans don't care as much, and I don't know, man. It's just starting to feel like everything matters again, and with Rockets ball, like we're not sitting here watching Deshaun Nix, and of course, glory to all of the soldiers past when it comes to a lot of these dead Rockets rebuild guys who might never be on an NBA team again. I can go on, but this team just feels right. The everything. Excuse me. I'm so excited. I'm slapping my mic over here. Everything feels right in the league, man. Like this is probably the best quarter season, that I could really ask for. Not only for my team, but I'm league passing every day, dude. I keep throwing in real life conversations. I keep saying this is why we league pass. Like we were watching, I know, and it's so fucked up, dude. It's so fucked up. But we were watching a Laker game, and I think this kid ended up making a bunch of shots, and then messed up the last one, or however those usually go. And
Yep.
just sitting and watching that on league pass with a room full of people, that's like, it's pretty sick. I don't know. It makes you feel like there's a little electricity in the building, not only in Staples but in the crib. It's I don't know, man. I'm just league passing it up, man, and it's amazing. It's free. Can't complain. Thank you, Jason Tatum, again. Also, I might shout him out every episode, because
Until
you can't put a
February. Yeah.
price on what I'm seeing right now. Jaden
Yeah.
Ivey balling out, Jalen Johnson balling out, Trey Young passing the shit out of the ball like how he always does. The East is interesting. I don't want to say fun yet, but when it comes to the NBA Cup, this is going to be a fun time for everybody involved.
Yeah. It's better than what we talked about preseason. We previewed the Eastern Conference when we were
Very low
just
bar.
struggling through that episode. So yeah, NBA Cup down to 8 teams, 4 on each side, Western Conference and Eastern Conference. We'll start with the West. We'll start with my team. Last night, the Dallas Mavericks played against the Memphis Grizzlies in the final NBA Cup group stage game, and it legitimately felt like Game 6 against Oklahoma City. Just like the intensity that was happening, how the back and forth was happening, and then third quarter we get down 15 or whatever it is. In the fourth quarter we're down 15, and all of a sudden they just storm back. They're hitting threes. Spencer Dinwiddie just reliving 2022 again is just reviving my soul. PJ Washington is doing PJ Washington things again, balling out. One of the most important Mavericks on the team, I will say. But the Mavericks are playing Oklahoma City in the quarterfinals, and I'm excited about it because I mean it's literally the Red River rivalry. Like that's the nickname for it is Dallas versus OKC, and I'm excited for that game. It's going to be next week on Tuesday. I believe we're recording this Wednesday, December 4th. So that's going to be a fun one. And then on the other side of the bracket for the Western Conference, Rockets versus Warriors. It feels like 2018 all over again. It's strange. It's two really good rivalries that have been over the course of many years now, but are getting to be revived, which is cool. I think that's good for the league, adding more rivalries and teams that hate other teams and hate playing against other teams. That's good for the league. I think we've been missing that over the last probably 10 years or so. Like players just don't hate players like they used to, and that's okay. Everybody's kind of buddy-buddy. Everybody trains with each other on the offseason. Draymond Green and LeBron drink wine and dance with each other on the dance floor at a wedding whenever they want, and that's okay. That's fine. But when it comes to on the court, I want them to hate each other more than anything. Like I need people to hate each other on the court. Off the court, do whatever you want. Don't care. It'd be funnier if you just hated them incessantly, like across the board, just didn't like them ever. Which I think Luka Doncic might be on that mode. Like other than Jokic, his best friend of all time, it appears. Other than that, I think Luka just hates everyone. So yeah, OKC, Mavs, Rockets, Warriors, Western Conference looks beautiful to me.
Oh, no complaints. You couldn't draw it up any better. Like I said, it feels like 2016, it feels like 2018, and you know, there's no deadline on revenge. So
Yeah.
if the Rockets can eke one out against the Golden State Warriors, I'm not saying that it would make up for 4 years of
No.
pain, suffering, game sevens, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul. I can keep going. But instead of it being 99% to 1%, the 1% being the Rockets, of course, it might be a 98.5 to 1.5. So, take your moral victories the way you can, and this West just looks fun as shit. I can't wait to see. Hopefully, Mavericks Rockets NBA Cup championship clincher or a semifinal clincher,
Yeah.
because who in their right mind would have thought that those words would be coming out of my mouth even, let's say, 3 years ago or 3 months ago. I mean, this is so strange and new. And like I said, it doesn't have an identity yet, but it's really coming to form. Like you're seeing guys in halfway playoff atmospheres who are just stepping up. And that's the most beautiful thing about basketball. You're seeing Spencer Dinwiddie in a halfway playoff situation be the primary ball handler for 2 different possessions when Luka Doncic is in the corner or
Yeah.
on the wing. And you think this Dallas Mavericks team has no hope, and they pull it out of their ass. And
Yeah.
yeah, I am so happy that even though it's Dallas Mavericks, I get to witness just tomfoolery, because we had a lack of tomfoolery last year, and
We did.
with Jimmy Butler coming, potentially, I don't know if we can go on and on about this. I'm not going to say any opinions just yet. My opinion is loading. But
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler potentially coming to Houston, tomfoolery in the city. We might be
Might be
back.
back.
We might be back.
Might be
Jinx.
back. Speaking of the NBA Cup and the Rockets, though, J Bar M Barbecue, couple blocks away from Toyota Center. Go check them out today if you're in the Houston area. It's the best barbecue you'll get. I love it. It's incredible. It's delicious. Great people and great barbecue over at J Bar M. Go check them out today. But definitely go check them out Wednesday before the Rockets game. We're pre-gaming the Rockets game at J Bar M, a couple blocks away. It's the cheapest drinks you'll get in the area. Like it's the craziest thing. They have drink specials all the time. Like it's the best. Go check them out. Watch party, pre-game at J Bar and Barbecue next Wednesday before the Rockets game against the Golden State Warriors. The game's at 8:30, so you can come stop in for a couple drinks. Make sure you get home safely. Take Alto if you need to. You just go to Apollo HOU for a membership. You can get a free membership for a little bit with Alto. But use an Alto, get home safely, and then you can watch the game. Or if you're going to the game, pregame at J Bar M, the cheaps are much cheaper, and the food is way better than what you'll get in Toyota Center. So go check them out next Wednesday at J Bar M Barbecue for Rockets Warriors pregame at J Bar M. On the east side, we got the Bucks, the Magic facing off against each other, and then the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. They can't beat anyone but the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers, but here they are in the NBA Cup quarterfinals. It's incredible. We'll start with that one. Knicks, Hawks, they had that playoff series back in 2021, I believe. Julius Randle shit the bed the entire time. It was disgusting from the New York Knicks, and the Hawks somehow made the Eastern Conference Finals before Joel Embiid. People forget. That's going to be a fun one, I think. It's an interesting one. I don't think the Hawks really stand a chance, but at least it's interesting. Maybe.
Unethical. It's very unethical. I don't feel any kind of way other than future me remorse for knowing that I'm going to be watching this game. Can't wait to see Trae Young. He's going to chuck. He is going to chuck. Can't wait to
100%.
see it. I hope they go in, though. I will never root against Trae Young. My
I will.
favorite thing, and of course, this is so outplayed, and everyone already knows the context and probably what I'm about to say, but whenever Trae Young plays and has a really bad game, just seeing the carpet picture with the hair and the lollipop, that's
The
such a
lollipop,
classic.
yeah.
Such a classic.
It's the best. It just hits every time.
It never gets old. And, I know Trae Young I'm totally going to butcher this, but I'm sure 5-15 against the New York Knicks in his career. But, those wins in the postseason, they hold a lot of weight, especially when Julius Randle, of course, former Knick, shit the bed, like you mentioned. And
Yep.
Karl Anthony Towns, do we need to have a conversation? I mean, obviously we can go on, and he's maybe not entering. He's been in his prime. I'd say he's pushing 30, but damn it, he is a fun basketball player, man. You got to love it.
Couldn't score on the Mavericks, but yeah, the pass he had the other night, was it last night?
Mm-hmm.
The turnaround into the corner and the Mikal Bridges right in his shot pocket too. It was incredible because his pocket's like up here for some reason. He threw it right on the dot. It was incredible. But yeah, Cat's been balling. The Knicks have been balling, but Knicks Hawks, it'll be interesting. It'll be in the Garden. I'm sure we're gonna hear the fuck Trae Young chants from the Garden folk, the fine people of New York City. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. And then the other one is Milwaukee and Orlando. I think we need to have a conversation about Milwaukee. Ever since NBA Centel tweeted out a picture of Doc Rivers with the fake quote that said, "I'm gonna start taking my job more seriously now." They're like 9-1 since that, or 9-0. Like
Yeah.
they're on a fucking heater since NBA Centel. Did NBA Centel save the Milwaukee Bucks season? People are asking. I don't know.
Milwaukee is in such a weird spot because you have just so many guys. You have just a bunch of guys and Giannis. And of course, this is based on me and again my league pass experience. Their spacing obviously is getting better. Dame is very much getting better. Like we
Yeah.
are seeing a good Damian Lillard again. Not a great no weapons Damian Lillard. We're seeing a I don't want to say pass first Damian Lillard, but we're seeing a Damian Lillard who has a conscience. He's not running around with his like a chicken with his head cut off. And dare I say that's good for the game. You know what I mean? Like the Milwaukee Bucks being good isn't necessarily a bad thing. Of course, we can hate all we want and get upset at Doc Rivers and how terrible of a coach he is. But we can have these moments of shine and fun because we can look 6 months into the future and already know that they're going to shit the bed in the playoffs anyway. Of course, they do have their ring, and that is very important. Budenholzer was scapegoated, dare I say, but
Yeah.
this Bucks team is good, and the Bucks are back for right now, and
For now.
that's enough praise for them. Good for
Yeah.
them. Paolo needs to be back. I need to see him in a real halfway full playoff atmosphere, like expeditiously again. And
Not against Cleveland,
no,
please.
please, God, I think every game was both teams scored under 100 points. That was a
It was
stinker,
disgusting.
stinker of a
It
series.
was awful. Yeah. I
Um,
didn't really watch it.
no, no, there was a good moment there. I think it was a game 5, or did it go to
Yeah,
6?
it was
Yeah,
5 or 6, something like that. It was a nail biter. That was
yeah,
a good one, but the other ones I didn't pay attention to. But
no,
Orlando, yeah, we need Paolo back. But Franz Wagner, on an All NBA pace right now. Like he's tearing it
Mhm.
up ever since Paolo went out. This
Mhm.
is what we saw last season, and then it faded towards the latter half and into the playoffs, and now it's back. And this is kind of what that extension means: is like you get the money, you should perform. And Franz Wagner is exceeding expectations from me. Um, Arguably a top 15 player right now in the NBA, just because of the numbers he's putting up, the wins he's putting up without Paolo. Like he's not carrying the team by himself, but he's performing to a standard that I think the Magic saw in him, and that's why they gave him the extension. You can't really not give him an extension. He's a lottery pick, and he's an integral part of your team. But the Orlando Magic song sound, it hits every time on TikTok. I can't help it. It just hits every time.
They need to stop changing it. They keep trying to like alter it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. They just need to go with the original and add your little ad lib in the beginning, like your little clip, and then lead into the song. That's great. Love that. Um, just keep it, just keep it
Yep.
level here, boys. Like, we know what we need. We know what we got.
Change a lot of the times is good, but in this case, no. Don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, please.
Yeah, NBA Cup is awesome. I'm loving it so far, and I'm excited for get the quarterfinals underway next week. It's gonna be fun. Um, let's shift over to J Bar M. J Bar M Barbecue. I know we've talked about him, but new sponsor, new highlight, the Texas Trinity Plate. It's 3 meats and 2 sides. I like to go brisket, sausage, and then ribs. That's kind of, you just get a little bit of everything. The jalapeno cheddar sausage is delightful. It's incredible. It's my favorite thing I've ever tasted. Probably it's the best. So go check that out. The Texas Trinity Plate, J Bar M Barbecue. Go check them out today. They're a couple blocks away from Toyota Center. It's an easy walk if you're going to the game. Go to J Bar M, pregame it, go to the game, get the Texas Trinity Plate, and the Texas Trinity Plate 3 of the week goes to Fred VanVleet with an absolute moonshot the other night. It was at the end of the shot clock. He's over on the wing and just kind of chucks it up. He's a little bit of space, and it hit the hoop so nicely. Like it was like a forward swish. It didn't just drop straight in. It didn't hit the back of the net. It hit the front of the net and just swished through. It was
Oh,
impeccable. So the Texas Trinity Plate, J Bar M Barbecue, 3 of the week goes to Fred VanVleet. Congratulations. The first ever, the inaugural Texas Trinity Plate, 3 of the week. Fred VanVleet.
gotta love it. Thank you, Fred. Thank goodness it went to a hometown guy. I never thought this day would come. As a man who's wanted plenty of awards, not made up awards like the Defensive Player of the Week that they're trying to give Victor Wembanyama, this award feels very real to me, and I'm so appreciative of. I'm obviously accepting it in his honor, but I would like to say. You know those old videos, or they probably still do this, and not even like Dude Perfect, but it's always like Russian dudes or just some crazy people who will just throw a basketball off of a bridge, like 100-foot
Yeah,
bridge, and it like goes forward, but it perfectly swishes.
the
This is
spin on it
exactly,
makes it go forward. Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what I felt like I was watching. This is elite basketball, Fred VanVleet legacy game, and I'm starting to feel like in my brain, and I've been such a Fred VanVleet. I don't want to say denier. I don't want to say
You're not a
denier.
hater or denier. I don't know what it is. You're just like cautiously not optimistic about it.
I'm a noticer, and
Yeah,
I'll notice if he has a great game. This was literally a career defining game. Like this,
it was impeccable.
it's so great to have. And I'm gonna look at the positives here. I don't want to sound like a complete hypocrite, but when you have a guy that can just who's 6 feet tall, doesn't turn the ball over that much. Obviously, like there are some nights where he's pass first. There's some nights where he shoots a lot, and some
Yeah.
when he shoots a lot, it tends to be not great nights. A lot of the time, he's not wowing you with his percentages, but he knows the game of basketball. Like that's what a Wichita State education will do to you, man. Like this is real deal basketball here, and he's not gonna be insane and be a superstar, but you know that you at probably I'd almost say all times have a top 15, maybe at times top 12 point guard in the league. And for a team that's not just rebuilding, but actually looking to find its own identity, like towards a playoff push, it's kind of all you can ask for right now. I can sit here and pump my heart out of my chest about a De'Aaron Fox trade, which Houston, come home. De'Aaron Fox, come back home. Cypress kid, Katie, your parents, your folks still stay out in Katy. Come back, please. We need you. But as for right now, Fred VanVleet is a pretty good option, and I think I'm done hating on him for the foreseeable future. We'll see
Yeah,
how he performs in a playoff, in air quotes,
it helps when
atmosphere.
you're playing the number one seed OKC and he has that kind of game, and you end up winning the game as well. That just it's a bonus beating the number one team in the West, and they were the number one seed last season, and they're a young firepower team, and just being able to finally progress through this rebuild over the last 4 years. Like you've been just yearning for good basketball and winning basketball for 4 years, and you've just been wandering through the desert, and all of a sudden it starts appearing this season. And we're like, okay, yeah. We'll see how long this lasts. And now we're into December, and you're still winning big games. You're having good performances from your stars. You still would like to see some more out of some certain young guys, but your team's progressing. And I know it's exciting for you and the Summit boys and the rest of the Apollo crew. I know I'm a Mavericks fan, but I watch the Rockets. I do it because it's my job. I watch basketball. Yeah, they're a lot of fun right now. Shingun's just been killing it. Tariz and Amin Thompson, the Terror Twins, have just been a delight to watch. It's just the grossest basketball you'll ever see, and it's delightful. Like those two guys, great defense and subpar offense, but fast breaks and just chaos. That's appealing to me as a Mississippi State basketball fan. That's
SEC
what we are.
basketball. That
That's
that is what you grew up on with SEC basketball.
It's what we are, just chaos and terrible basketball, but it's always delightful at the same time. So yeah, the Rockets, they've been killing it. They're into the NBA Cup quarterfinals. So see if they can sneak one out against the Warriors, exercise some demons that weren't a part of any of the members of the Rockets now, but
Nope.
exercise some franchise demons, if you will, and get a win. And hopefully it's a Dallas Houston matchup that Saturday after, because you know where we would be to watch that one.
Need that.
J Bar and barbecue. We'd be right back. Be
Yes,
right back on Saturday for a watch party. Be delightful.
please. Immediate 48-hour notice, guys.
Yeah.
We need every space that you can offer us because this is life altering. This is. I would implore you to drive down here. I mean, this is like serious business. You know.
No, if the Rockets are in the quarterfinals or in the semifinals on that Saturday, I will be at J Bar and Barbecue watching the game. I
You
will be
heard it
there.
here first. The Stone Strankman stamp.
I'll be there. They have parking for days in the parking lot. That's a big deal
Oh
downtown
yeah.
Houston. Getting parking, free parking, if you will, just a couple blocks from the stadium or the arena. Yeah, you can't beat J Bar.
You don't got to convince me anymore, man. I'm
And
already in
cheap
there.
drinks. I mean, I'm just trying to tell everybody out there, if you haven't been to J Bar M, you need to go. But yeah, Rockets Warriors, Mavs OKC, Milwaukee Orlando, Knicks Atlanta. It seems right. Feels good.
Feels like life is starting to take form again. Inject this in my veins. It's winter. It feels didn't feel great outside today, but it
No,
feels great overall. I feel okay. Feel happy, and just having a winning basketball team. It's such a foreign feeling. Not just hope is one thing, but you know, surpassing the hope and seeing results. It man, the theme of this episode is just everything means so much more when you can let loose and trust and you see the results and you got to love it. And hopefully, you know, I don't know what an NBA Cup win would do for my psyche. I don't know if I'd be out on Richmond or in Midtown or downtown, drunk as shit, celebrating
yeah,
and
do you do a
screaming.
parade for an NBA Cup trophy?
If they do, I don't know.
I mean,
I,
the Lakers raised a banner, so I mean,
I would too. Okay, this means something to me. Okay, if the Indianapolis Colts can say AFC finalist as a banner, we can do whatever we want.
I want one of those banners. If they're gonna give them away, I want one of them. I'm gonna put it right back
PFT
here.
commenter has one.
I know they have one in the Barstool office. I don't know if they ever hung it up, but I want one. I'm gonna put it right here. It's gonna be my background.
Oh,
Just AFC
you gotta love it.
semifinalist. It'd be the best. But yeah, NBA Cup's awesome. Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint is awesome. Prize Picks, use code Apollo when you sign up. They're awesome. Daily fantasy app. Go check out Prize Picks today and go check out J Bar M. I know it's been the J Bar M episode, but new sponsor. We want to give them the light for joining the podcast. They're also on Summit, State of Mind, our Houston Rockets podcast on Apollo Media. We're going to be shouting them out all season, throughout the rest of the regular season and into the playoffs. We're going to be shouting out J Bar M. So get used to it. It's going to happen. Just go check it out and eat the food and drink the drinks and tell me that I'm wrong, because I'm not.
Never.
I'm
You gotta
not.
love it.
But yeah, this has been Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast.